My credentials are I have a Bachelor's of Science from the College of William and Mary, and then I went on to receive a PhD from the California Institute of Technology. My PhD in chemistry is specifically in what is called theoretical chemical physics. So I studied quantum reaction dynamics, they call it, using massively parallel computers to follow a typical chemical reaction and identify what's going on during that reaction. So I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up in a home that attended a Christian church, I would say. And so I've been exposed to it. I knew of God. I had read the Bible. I knew who Jesus was. But I would say until I started working, so out of graduate school, I did not have a personal relationship with Jesus. I would say when people find out my scientific background and work background, they do tend to be surprised. It's not something I talk about all the time, but I would say more so in the work environment, more people are surprised to hear my religious beliefs. And the environment of working in a scientific world is very atheistic. There are very few Christians. I was fortunate that I actually worked for an advisor who was a devout Jewish man, and so the understanding of faith and God as a creator and so on was not, most people did not laugh at it, scoff at it, and so on. I did encounter that on occasion. There were times that we would entertain other professors from other places, and often there was this discussion of evolution, and as a Christian, it was something that was mocked, that you might believe that evolution, maybe there's microevolution, but that evolution is not the reason for our existence, that God had created us to begin with. I guess I wouldn't say that being a Christian and a scientist are an oxymoron. I think a lot of people believe that. I think that they learn to just rely on their own minds and their own understanding of things and become so secure in believing that they know what's right, and then almost treat science as their God, that they are unwilling to admit that there's a creator, whereas everything you look at screams that there's a creator in my mind. To those that are just coming into the sciences, or a high school student, a college student that's looking to explore science more and will likely be bombarded with folks that say that God can't possibly exist and that this is all evolution, and have other ideas. And I would just challenge you that in the sciences we're taught to read and think critically. And so read and think critically about what each one of these individuals is saying, as well as what you're reading. Read the Bible carefully, and I would suggest reading from the folks from Reasons to Believe and Hugh Ross and his team, because they have done excellent work at putting together specifically documents regarding evolution and how they believe that occurred, and the markers along the way in history that point to what the Bible is saying is true. And they're a fascinating way of looking at it. I would say being a scientist does open up perhaps more awe at God's creation, just to understand that there's so many different ways that this world could have come to be, what it could have looked like, how it could have developed, and for it to be exactly as it is. The small, minute chance of this planet being what it is and everything being as we found it is just incredible, that God would do that for us, that he so loved us to create this world.